Alright, folks, Pitching is Idiot, we are back with.
Hey, Chromecast Heroes here.
Let's go on to Chapter 3. So, we are live streaming on Twitch currently. This will go up on YouTube. It would appear that more than one person had reason to hunt down Denny Daedalus. But who really did it? He was a former Irish gang member in Italian territory. That might have something to do with his demise.
Oh, blast the flat adapt. There's some Italian flitter in my home. I'm being invaded. God darn it!
Mr. Hayes, where on earth did you come from?
Never you mind, but I'll tell you what I mind. City Slickers busting into my home without so much as how do you do?
Italian city slicker, you say? Does this man happen to wear a straw boater hat?
He sure does. Do you know him? Can you tell him to leave?
Oh, we know him all right. And Vittorio Capecci could be trying to destroy evidence. We better stop him at once, Ace. Yeah, you'll notice that reading in like real time, it takes practice.
Yeah.
Stop right where you are, Mr. Capecci. What are you doing here?
I heard the guy who tried to rob me is Irish. I got curious. I wanted to see his hideout with my own eyes. I might convert into a hunting lodge for my bow hunting trips.
You can't do that. This property is currently occupied.
And we Italians are the main occupants of Coyote Gorg. There's always a way. I need to be sure that there aren't more Irish rats sneaking into our territory. We don't need any Irish in Coyote Gorg.
No Irish at all? Did you apply this policy to Danny Daedalus on one of your hunting trips? Vacate this property immediately? You're right, Ace. We better have another look around the hideout before someone else tampers with this scene.
Right. Oh.
Right. Just find everything. Well, this is obviously a clue. Low is probably one too. Nope. Snake. Bacon. Yum. Rat and bag of gold. There we go. Nice. Almost $4.99, almost at 500. Oh, sweet. I wonder why the small bag of gold is sitting apart from the rest of the haul from the train. The bag has a message attached. Take this and keep your mouth shut. And it was signed by the victim. There's no other name. That green substance on the bag might tell us who the victim was bribing. Let's go get a sample. And that coded message was also sent by our victim through the Concordia Express Postal Service. I've heard they've trained dogs to carry messages around Coyote Gorge. But you're right, the coded message is addressed to Seamus. Please decipher it as quickly as possible. This could be a major lead. Now I'm at level 498. 3/4 of the way through that.
Oh, you're getting close to 500.
Yep. Probably not next case, but the final case of this district, I'll hit it. So my name will change. I will no longer be Senior Trooper Ace.
Oh.
Split the sample you collect from the bag under the microscope, Ace. We'll have the results straight away. Yeah, that's why, you know, when I do have a guest on, me doing the lead detective is usually the best because they talk for the most part the most, and then you can take all the other voices.
Yeah, that does make sense. I was just confused at first. It's my first time open.
Yeah. 4, 3, 4, 3, 5. 5, 3, 6. Yeah, this is so dumb.
Yeah, I really don't get that.
It's
very
not the
confusing.
same. It just upsets me that it's not the same every time. 'Cause
If
then
it
you
were
can just
1 through
learn it.
8, I would understand a little bit more.
You just have the code from the Concordia Express message the victim sent to Shams. Let's give these numbers to Evie. She'll know what they mean. They don't need to make it different every time. Because at least we could try and learn it. Like, we could at least try and go, hey, this icon, it means this.
Also,
number
Evie must
6.
be some kind of magic genius. I would never decipher that.
Oh, not 9. The substance she collected from the bag was alcohol made from cactus. Who do we know that drinks that? Well, that's right. Gibby Hayes drinks cactus moonshine. He was rather insistent that we try some. But Mr. Hayes had better explain why the victim was bribing him with gold. It appears he knows more than he let on.
Oh boy. Senior Trooper Ace, I'm much obliged for getting that Italian fella out from my property. I've had in mind to give you a taste of my cowboy boots.
Mr. Hayes, you said that you barely saw Danny $10 while he stayed here, but you must have seen something. Otherwise, he wouldn't have tried to bribe you.
That crackling galoot. I knew he was up to no good, but I didn't know he robbed a train. I asked Danny where the gold was coming from. He wouldn't say. Then, when I found he was gone, I found that sack of gold with a message to shut my mouth.
Oh, so you say, but when you saw all this other gold, perhaps you decided to keep him quiet and take all you could. We'll be keeping an eye on you.
Here's one of those.
Hey, oh, that's you.
Oh yeah. Ace, I have excellent news. The numbers what you brought me, I know exactly what they are. Those numbers were coordinates from the hideout.
So the victim sent Seamus the coordinates for his hideout, and Seamus obviously went there since he left the message behind. Ace, I always knew Seamus stowing away on the train that the victim robbed couldn't have been a coincidence. He was in on the heist. There's only one way to know for certain. We must confront Seamus immediately. Seamus, you've been holding out on us. We know that you visited the hideout of the victim. Admit it, you were his accomplice.
No, I was just stowing away on the train, remember?
Do not take this for fools. The entry based on the message the victim sent to you, and you were in cahoots.
I wasn't, I promise. I didn't help Danny set up the robbery. I was trying to stop him. That's why I decided to pull on some cowboy boots and come out to the Wild East.
A likely story. Having cut of this robbery's haul could only help you and your former gang buddy set yourselves up quite nicely in Coyote Gorge.
I swear, I'm telling you the truth. Danny wanted to show the Italians a thing or two, but I've told him that this wasn't the way to forward the Irish of Concordia. You have to believe me, Senior Trooper Ace. My gang days are behind me. I believe it.
I think you're right, Bonnie. I don't think Seamus is making it to the end of Mysteries of the Past. Ace, there are far too many suspects with motive to kill Danny Dallas. Could greed have cut Gibby Hayes' hospitality short? And if Seamus' story is true, could he have killed the victim to stop him from robbing the train? Quite right, Ace. Another trip to the crime scene will help us narrow down the suspect list to one person. Let's go.
Oh boy. I was so surprised when Vinny was arrested. I did not expect him to be the killer.
Yeah, I agree.
That one was surprising.
Newspaper, maybe? Nope. Okay, so we have lizard, eagle, leather band. Okay, why can't I find anything?
Oh, it's.
Oh.
Actually, I can't see it. Oh, you found it.
Okay, so we have beetle, snake, and eagle. Eagle, snake, pile of weeds. There we go. I think either Gioletta or Vittorio will live. I don't think both of them will live, though.
I think Gilead actually has a good chance of dying.
Yeah. When weeds normally pile up like that, you're right, Ace. This is suspicious. A dig through them could uncover a clue. You found a leather arm guard. Archers use these to protect their arms from the string of the bow. The killer must have used this arm guard when they shot arrows at the victim, and they left a substance on it. The sample could yield evidence. We're closer than ever, Ace. We should catch this killer before the sun goes down. Alright, 2 more and then we're gonna arrest this killer.
I'm excited.
Aha. Ace, the scratches that we found in the weeds are clearly broken off of an arrow. We must get to this to Viola post haste. Interesting. Give me a sample of the substance from the killer's arm guard. Good show. Viola 1, take a look at that.
Excellent work finding the killer's arm guard, Ace, and even better work collecting a sample of the substance that was on it. The substance in question contains... Okay, I'm not even gonna try. Otherwise known as nip bone or comfrey. With mixed with beeswax, comfrey makes an excellent salve to treat bruises. It is likely that the killer transferred the salve to the arm guard after using comfrey salve to treat a hematoma.
Well, the killer has a bruise. Well, Ace, that should narrow down the list of suspects. Kind of, except I kind of noticed, we already noticed that bruises were on most of our suspects.
Ace, the feathers you found at the crime scene were most instructive. Oh, as you guessed, they were broken off at the end of one of the killer's arrows. But what you may not know is sometimes an archer will use their spit to ensure that the features of the fletching have been separated and remain stable. And sure enough, there was spit on this fletching. With this knowledge, I decided to use the DNA machine to get more information on the killer. The feathers interfered somewhat, but I can tell you that the killer has green eyes.
So the killer's eyes are green, eh? Well, Ace, those green eyes saw red when they looked at Danny Dedalis. And we had a little bit of lag there, I wonder why. Ace, I believe we've always apprehended and arrest Danny Dedalis' killer. Let's go.
I don't remember who has green eyes.
Get rid of that. Do my best to... Alright, so let's arrest this killer.
Alright. Oh! I think it's... Oh, what? Wow! They are really surprising.
They brought her back only to make her be a killer. Interesting.
That one got me. Wow.
Miss McBain, you are under arrest for the murder of Danny Dedalis.
You cannot be serious. Oh, why would I kill him?
You mean besides the fact that he tried to steal your gold? Well, we know you're a crack shot with bow and arrow.
I'm not the only one. That's a useful skill out here in the Wild East.
Well, I'm not surprised, but you might be surprised that we know the killer has green eyes thanks to evidence they left on their arrow fletching.
Again, there could be another green-eyed archer on the loose out here.
But the only other one we've come across in our investigation is lacking one little flaw in the bruise. You left comfrey salve on your arm guard, Miss McBain.
Fine. Your sleuthing is far too good, Signature Ace. I did kill Danny Dedalis.
Do you make a habit of killing every person who tries to steal from you? The police should have handled it.
This was personal. Perhaps I should explain. I lied when I said I did not know Danny. He was my ex-husband.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, then.
That's information that would have been useful. That's usually not grounds for murder, miss.
Usually not grounds, certainly, but he was a cur. The money-grabbing louse. He married me for my name, my riches. But once we were married, he thought he could do anything he liked. Drinking, gambling, carousing with floozies, you name it. When I threw him out, Danny sent me threats for years. He swore up and down that he would get me money out of me, and if it was the last thing he did. Oops. And, as it turns out, it was the last thing he did.
Wow.
I always knew he'd try to get my gold one day, especially when he up and joined the gang. When one of my underlings told me the train carrying the gold had derailed, I took my bow and arrow and ran out there to stop Danny once and for all. Though, to be fair, I only shot him once and knew for certain he was carting off the gold.
Well, that will make no difference at all to the judge, Mr. Payne. You're under arrest for the murder of Danny Dedalis.
Miss McBain, you stand here before this court accused of the murder of Danny Dedalis. Danny was robbing a train full of my gold. I did Coyote Gorg a great service. You may believe that to be the case, Miss McBain. The real service is that the railroad is bringing modernity to Coyote Gorg. The wildest laws will soon be a thing of the past. As a result of your vigilante justice, the court hereby sentences you to 25 years in prison. You're making a big mistake. Without me running my mind, criminals will be crawling all over the Wild East.
My word, Ace, what Dorothy McBain would do to protect her gold. Good job catching her and putting her behind bars. We still have a few loose ends, but the Italians and their involvement in the railroad. All we can be sure of is that Vittorio Capecci is wrapped up in all this somehow. Ace, we need to find some solid proof of his nefarious activities once and for all. That, my friends, is the end of Chapter 3. We'll see you guys in the additional investigation. It's been Pitching Ace 88.
And the Chromecasters.
Over and out.